Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Arthritis at Home. Today, our special guests are members from the ACE team, Wang and Cheryl Koehn. Welcome to you both.
Thank you, Kelly. It's great to be here.
We're going to talk today about ACE at the ACR, the annual conference of the American College of Rheumatology, and our participation at the world's largest meeting of arthritis community leaders from around the world. The last 2 years, it's been held virtually because of the pandemic. And this year in Philadelphia will be the first time since 2019 that people will be able to attend in person and virtually. And normally this meeting, which is the largest meeting of its kind in arthritis in the world, attracts over 15,000 people. I'm not sure how many they're hoping to have this year, but it's a big deal. And these are the smartest and brightest people from the international arthritis community, and that's basic scientists, rheumatologists, arthritis health professionals, industry, educators, patient advocates, and students and trainees. And we're going to turn it over to both of you to talk about the presentations that you'll be making in front of all those smart people in the upcoming days. It's being held November 10th to 14th. So today is actually the first day of the conference. Ellen, we'll start with you. What are you participating in and presenting at the ACR this year?
So Kelly, thank you for the question. And you said very excited, first conference I ever get to do in person. So really looking forward to the opportunity. And the funny thing is that I'm actually doing a virtual conference poster that I get to do online. And the kind of topic of discussion is we're looking at the concept of a tailored self-management intervention. So what I did is went into everything that was published, or hopefully I've captured everything in a review, and I've been able to take what I have found in my information gathering on tailored self-management interventions, and then I've synthesized it. So we call this a systematic review. I'm presenting some of the results of a systematic review on tailored self-management interventions.
Can I ask you, since I'm not one of those smart people, what is it? What's the definition of what you're looking for, the tailored self-management intervention?
Kelly, that's a fantastic question, because tailored is definitely a buzzword right now. Tailored, individualized, personalized, and hear those words. What does it actually mean? And the definition of tailoring actually comes from the field of communications, and the original studies looked at tailored health messaging, and some of the original authors on this that did the groundbreaking work, they define this as, so tailoring is when we do some sort of baseline assessment, and that can just be a verbal conversation, that can be a questionnaire, that can be a physical test, and then we match components of the intervention with that characteristic that we measured in the individual. Therefore, that should be hopefully very much so aligned with that individual's preferences, needs, values, physical function, whatever we measured at baseline.
An intervention is one of those words as well that maybe some of our viewers are not too clear what you mean by intervention.
Intervention is one type of scientific study where we add an ingredient. As Richard said, we manipulate something. So we change or we add. So in this case, the intervention would be some sort of, there's a lot of physical activity interventions that I've looked at. There's a lot of cognitive behavioral therapy, which is just an intervention where we get an individual to kind of self-reflect and guide their own goals and their own action plan. So a lot of those, whether it's a physical intervention or a kind of psychosocial intervention, so we're adding that component, whether it's the exercise or the therapy.
So congratulations. I mean, that's a really exciting moment in a person's career. How are you presenting this? What kind of format are you presenting?
It's really interesting. ACR has, so the American College of Rheumatology has this, really, or they're partnering with this really incredible platform that is able to actually broadcast your presentation, so your poster. Then it's a 3-minute voiceover, so add 3 minutes of verbal dialogue. And after participants enter kind of the room, they view that, and then they're kind of welcome into the room where I'll be there to answer questions. So it's really very much so well thought out. And yeah, I get to present pretty much, it's just a single slide, the work of Dr. Linda Lee, Dr. Isabel Rodriguez, and myself.
Fantastic. Well, we'll look forward to hearing more about your experience. Cheryl, over to you. This isn't your first ACR presentation or rodeo. So maybe you have a few less butterflies, understandably, than Ellen does. But nevertheless, it's a big opportunity and always a big milestone for you to be able to not only meet your colleagues, but be able to make some presentations in front of some people that you've known for a long time and people who you've never met before. So what are you presenting at this year's ACR?
Thank you, Kelly, and congratulations again, Ellen, for your great work. I'm so excited to be able to see you at the meeting. So you're right, I've been going to the meeting for, I don't know, almost 30 years now. And this year, my role on the faculty of the annual scientific meeting is focused on a project I've been involved with in a co-leadership model with Tiffany Westrich Robertson and Martin de Wit, my colleague from the Netherlands, who's been one of the big champions of patient-reported outcome measurements in the field of rheumatology research. And Tiffany leads the International Foundation for Autoimmune Arthritis. So she's sort of one of our counterparts in the United States, leading a great patient organization. And we're going to focus on a project called the Pathway. And this pathway is being presented on Saturday, November 12th from 11 o'clock to 12 o'clock Eastern time in room 103. We'll be tweeting about it throughout the coming days. And really the Pathway is a project born out of an international panel. So, 25, 30 people that came together to really put down on paper, digital paper, the journey of patient engagement and research. That in actual fact, you can add value to community today by telling the story of yesterday and documenting in a rigorous way how patients began to be involved in research and what models they created in order to ensure that the participation was both meaningful but also valued by the community of researchers that come together on a project. So we're going to be, Martin, Tiffany, and I are going to be taking the workshop participants through the Pathway and sharing with them some specific examples of models of patient engagement. So one, it's a learning opportunity, Kelly. People, patients, researchers, trainees, administrators, all kinds of people filling all kinds of really valuable and unique roles in rheumatology research can come to the workshop, and we know we'll learn something new. But also we hope they'll be able to contribute their own models, their own experience that they have in their own academic or organizational centers in terms of engaging people living with arthritis in the actual research work. So from forming the question to, doing literature reviews to see if the question is worth asking again, right? Has it already been asked and answered? If not, proceeding along to developing what the project will look like and who will be leading the research team down to actually crafting what the protocol will be. what you do, what steps you take with patients in order to answer the very question that started that process. And then to turn around and share the results in a very meaningful lay, kind of consumer or reader friendly way. That's where the research loop gets closed, right? Research only works when you tell people about your research and they can actually sort through the findings and say, oh, that applies to me. And then turning around and being able to action the findings in their own life or treatment plan. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to take people on a journey down the pathway and show them what the tool looks like, how they can use it to inform the development of their own patient engagement models. Or, we view the pathway as a living journey. We want people who come to the workshop to give us their models. So that's what we're going to be doing on Saturday from 11 to noon in room 103. We hope that we see lots of people there who've not only contributed to the pathway, but who are now just being newly exposed to it.
Fantastic. And for our viewers, we will be providing some links to both of your presentations at the end of the program. So they'll be able to see the work that you're describing. And certainly as a member of the ACE team, I can say on behalf of all the other team members how proud we are, both of you carrying the ACE banner at ACR this year. And Cheryl, I think you always seem to come back with new members and subscribers. So Ellen, that's certainly another goal for you, is try and increase that membership. So good luck with that. In the remaining few minutes of the program, I thought we talked just a little bit more about the ACR experience. And certainly one of the things that I'm excited about is it's something new. They have these community hubs as part of the conference. And this year there's a new program called Viewpoints. And they have experts that are going to be going up for 5 to 10 minutes presenting a TED style talk. So it's going to be snappy and personal and entertaining. And for a person like me, I think probably very understandable. So I'm really excited about this new program feature for the ACR. What about you two? What are some other things that you're looking forward to?
Kelly, that sounds very exciting. And yeah, I do appreciate how ACR has definitely structured, the entire conference in a way that is very much so tangible. And I'm really excited, I would say, for the networking. I've never gotten to, I think, meet rheumatologists in person. So this will be the first time I get to not meet someone and have that conversation and get to know how tall they are, what they're wearing, and have those little things that I think are really important, right? And apart when you're building relationship, there's just something about being there in person. So I would say that's my one thing.
Cheryl, what are you looking forward to?
Well, I'm feeling a bit trepidatious about the in-person piece because we're going to be around thousands of people. So as someone who's immunocompromised and significantly immunosuppressed, but very well vaccinated, I'm a little nervous about that, but I'm taking all of the precautions, but nevertheless, echoing Ellen's comment about being able to meet in person. We have found the virtual world to be really advantageous. It has cut down on travel costs. And so for patient organizations that are often, always trying to wring out every last penny of every dollar, that has delivered great value to us in the work that we do on behalf of people living with arthritis. But that in-person exchange is there are so many intangibles that are just so value add to our work. I find Ellen is a warning. If you think about sitting down, sit down, because the chances are few and far between, and the meeting is exhausting. So you have to really get ready, get your body ready as a person with arthritis to get to the meeting and to survive it. So I'm looking forward to surviving it. My big, for me professionally, as a health educator, as an advocate, My favorite parts of the program that the planning committees put together. So one, I'm really looking forward to the growing number of sessions on health equities, on racism and disparities in the area of provision of arthritis care around the world. I'm really looking forward to some of the work being presented on arthritis in Indigenous populations. As you know, we're doing a lot of that work ourselves. Is a big priority. I love all that, the sort of what I call the formal programming. My personal favorite is roaming the posters and learning from the posters and the people like Ellen who are standing in front of the posters. You get to meet the world leading researchers in really niche areas, Kawasaki's disease, scleroderma, juvenile idiopathic arthritis, like people you wouldn't normally get to meet in your day-to-day work life, get to meet in person, standing at a poster, talking about their work. And it's listening to those experts, and it's listening to people who are standing around them, exchanging ideas that then plant new seeds of thought in our minds as educators. And we can then identify themes that are emerging just roaming through the post.
ACE is a proud participant of this year's American College of Rheumatology's annual scientific meeting, ACR Convergence 2022. The annual meeting is the largest gathering of basic scientists, clinical researchers, arthritis health professionals, educators, patient advocates, and trainees in the world. And after 2 years of being held virtually because of the pandemic, the annual meeting is again going to take place for in-person and virtual attendees in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, between November 10th and 14th, where people are going to be able to attend and learn from more than 200 scientific sessions. ACE is looking forward to learning about the latest in arthritis research that has emerged over the past year in 2022, and some other things that we're looking forward to covering and reporting back to you, our viewers, are presentations on health equity and workforce-related issues, COVID-19 advocacy, and the latest innovations, of course, in rheumatology treatment and therapies. We'll be providing you updates through some daily key takeaways, reports or dispatches from the meeting, where we'll highlight research that is meaningful to arthritis consumers and patients. If you aren't a member or subscriber of ACE and you want to receive these updates, one of the ways is by subscribing to either our Joint Health Express e-newsletter or our Joint Health Insight newsletter. To subscribe, go to our website, and on the homepage, you'll find a subscribe panel, and you can follow that, or you can simply type in subscribe.jointhealth.org, and you can begin to receive information and the latest breaking news on arthritis research delivered to your computer, iPad, or smartphone. ACE is also going to be providing daily bulletins through a social media campaign called ACR Live Tweet. And that coverage will span the 4 or 5 days of the conference. We have 2 members of the ACE team who are going to be presenting at the conference. Ellen Wang, our programs coordinator and a PhD student at the University of British Columbia and an Arthritis Research Canada trainee, is going to be presenting a poster at the meeting on Sunday, November 13th at 9 a.m. Philadelphia time, titled "The Effect of Tailored Self-Management Interventions on Health Outcomes in Individuals with Chronic Musculoskeletal Conditions." And our founder and president, Cheryl Koehn, is co-leading a presentation on Saturday, November 12th at 11 a.m. And that will be on Action Council, the pathway of patient engagement in rheumatology research review and implementation. And we wish you the best of luck with your presentations. Have a great conference. And thanks to all of our viewers today. We will be sharing our key takeaways from this year's ACR, including these two presentations by our team members at ACE. And thanks again for joining us at Arthritis at Home. Bye-bye.
Thank you.